The men off and running. Get you the lineup on them in just a second here. So men's steeplechase, same of course as the women in terms of top 5 from each of the 2 heats. And then the next best 4 moving on to the final. Let's get you through all the qualifiers. Chase Hampton is in lane 1, junior from Otterbein. Jack Sebok, a junior from Wash U in St. Louis. And then Julian Degroot-Lutzner of Pomona Pitzer, a senior, is in 3. Matthew Wilkinson, a sophomore from Carleton, in 4. John Blake, junior from Ithaca, in 5. Kyle Rapacz, a senior from Pacific Lutheran, in 6. Greg Jaindl, a junior from Moravian, in 7. And then Benjamin Schott of Messiah, also a senior, in 8. Aidan Gilson of MIT in 9. And Zach Shoemaker-Allen of Wisconsin La Crosse is in 10. So Schott in front with a trailing Aidan Gilson, and followed closely by Matthew Wilkinson as they finish off that first lap. As we take a look at some of these qualifiers, Schott is maybe the most capable candidate of catching Danny Rosen, who we'll see in this next heat. And it could be awfully similar to what we saw with Andy Rodenfels in terms of just had one go down in the back there. But similar to Rodenfels in the fact that Rosen is a guy who has just been dominant at the college level and what he's been able to do. At times, sub 9 minutes. No one else has done better than 9:37. Well, actually 9:36, I should say. Benjamin Schott, the next best time in this field. And Shoemaker-Allen just behind him. But a question for Schott of, can he improve so much in this short time to make his way through? You've already seen him build this lead of what he's got right now. Schott, a senior from Hanover, Pennsylvania, again from Messiah, set his best mark at the Larry Ellis Invitational in April of this year. Last year in this event finished 18th. Got some different finishers in this field who placed last year. Shoemaker-Allen came in 12th. Samuel Gerstenbacher, who we'll see in a little bit, was 17th. And Greg Jaindl, who's actually in this heat, finished 20th. But as always, a question of how much is too much in terms of catching up to what Rosen will most likely be able to do not only in the prelims, but in the final as well. Schott still holding on to the lead. Right now over Matthew Wilkinson, a sophomore from Carleton. Schott, a all MAC performer, 3 years in a row. Solid times at the championships again this season. His best time, though, of course, as I mentioned, at the Larry Ellis Invitational. Lead starting to build a little bit more over Wilkinson as Makes his way through that water. Wilkinson separating himself a little bit for second place. And a tight race right now for third. 3 laps to go now. 5.5 minutes in. Just cool and comfortable for Schott. He knows he's got to save a lot of energy to give himself a chance against Daniel Rosen come Saturday. Again, the men's final in this event will be at 11:30, the women at 11:45.
As they go down the backstretch, Jack Sebok from Washington University is white and green.
Schott on his third to last lap, as is everyone. Now 2 laps to go for both he and now Wilkinson.
Still running third, Jack Sebok from Washington University in the all green, and Chase Hampton from Otterbein in the red over black is running fourth. Switch places now, and it's now Hampton running third and Sebok running fourth.
And can Wilkinson maybe mount a little bit of a charge and get this to a closer margin? We'll see. That Schott holding steady. Amazing how consistent these runners are with knowing their pace. You do it so much, it's muscle memory. How much to dedicate per lap, what to save in reserve for the final, for the last couple laps. Again, you're watching afternoon coverage here in day 1 of this 2019 D3 Outdoor Track and Field Championship. Last year it was dramatic in lacrosse. Mount Union taking down North Central by a point, 36-35. It came down to the 4x400 relay, the final event for the men. It's also the final for the women. The women's event is the last event in the entire championship. But this championship has the makings of something special as well, with just how many teams are in. You look at some of these top squads. A team like Wisconsin-Eau Claire, who has 14 entries, 12 qualifiers. Oshkosh, 12 entries, 16 qualifiers. North Central, who won the indoors by a wide margin, getting some revenge on Mount Union. They've got 9 entries and 10 qualifiers, including Druville Patel, who we'll see later in the 10K, who is just sensational, but just fascinating to see how mathematics play into things. Point values will start being a huge storyline. Come Saturday, we'll be updating you constantly on the board, so not only the individual crowns, but how teams are doing, what a team needs to place in order to take a lead or get ahead. And Schott comes through in just under 9 minutes and 10 seconds. 9:09.51. Wilkinson almost 2 seconds back, 9:11.43. And Chase Hampton third at 9:13.11. So those 2 heats on the steeplechase in the books. Against the top 5 in each heat, plus the next best 4, so 14 total for the final. That'll come your way Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Still waiting. A couple of finishers. There's a few